Okay, welcome back to Bounce Around Charleston. We have with us John Price of John Price Law Firm, and we're talking about personal injuries. Attorney Price, we want to talk in this segment about understanding your personal injury claim, all the stuff that you've got to do, the paperwork, bringing the medical papers together, the losses like job situations. How do we handle all of this?
Well, that's a good question, Rev. It comes down to, at the end of the day, throughout the whole process, it's up to the attorneys. It's our obligation to request medical records on your behalf, the medical bills of the doctors that you treated, that the client is treated with, and so forth, to obtain all information, documentation to support and prove the damages that have occurred as a result of the accident. Now, very often clients will get a medical bill in the mail. You can bet that's going to happen. But it's still our job to request those bills also. And at the end of the case, or at the end of the medical treatment during the course of it, but usually at the end of the medical treatment, we'll get with the client and see what all bills they have and see what all bills we have to make sure they're, we'll do a little cross index and make sure that we haven't missed anything. Maybe the client got one we didn't get. Maybe we got one the client didn't get. We want to be fully informed. And the other thing, too, is that it's our job to get the medical records. Now, we don't necessarily interfere in any way. We certainly do not wrongfully interfere with the physician-patient relationship. It's up to the client to go to the doctor, tell the doctor the truth, give the doctor the full, truthful story about the history, what happened, their previous medical history, what happened in the accident, where they hurt, and so forth. We never ask a client. As a matter of fact, we instruct them not to fabricate nor exaggerate. But by the same token, when they're with their medical care provider, that is no time for small talk and a bunch of how's your little boy doing and how do you like this school and all that sort of talk. No, it's time to get down and tell them what hurts, where it hurts, and give them the full information so that the medical care personnel can give a proper diagnosis and, more importantly, perhaps even devise a very relevant, proper treatment plan. If it hurts bad, tell them it hurts bad. If it hurts just a little, tell them it hurts just a little, just so we have the documentation and the proof. We lawyers are all about proof. And from our side, we do a lot of stuff. It would take too long, I think, to tell you every little thing that we do. But remember that we're reviewing the case as it goes along. We're usually we like to stay in contact with clients and clients that stay in contact with us at least once every 30 days. Maybe more frequently during the course of their treatment, just so we can be updated. The clients don't have to call us every single time they see every single little doctor for every single little thing. But we have to be generally updated because, especially when there's a significant change in medical treatment, such as, a couple months after the accident, a physician may order an MRI, and then they find out there's a herniated disc, and then they say, well, this may be surgery. Well, obviously, we need to know that for numerous reasons, one of which behind the scenes, so to speak, we're always talking with the insurance adjusters, saying something good about our clients, sending them a piece of correspondence about a medical update, give them a phone call, to remind them what a good client we have and the strengths of our case, among other things. But it's our job during that time to obtain all the proof. When the client's been finally released from medical care, then we put our proof together. Emphasize the good spots, the good points, obviously, and advocate from there and make our demands for settlement based upon the numbers of the medical bills and lost wages. And once again, lost wages, we need proof of that too. We put all that together for numbers, and then we put a numerical value too on the general damages, pain, suffering, discomfort, physical pain, mental pain, loss of enjoyment of life. So, it's important that we document those things and have the proof. And I think that's from understanding the claim in its most basic form. Again, the client's job is to be a compliant patient and be a truthful and honest patient and comply with the doctor's treatment plan, follow medical advice, medical instructions, and on the other side, follow our legal advice along the way. That's really basically it at the end of the day.
And clients should not talk with insurance companies if they have a lawyer. Am I correct?
No. As a general rule, no. And if they do, you can bet that John Price is going to be present for that conversation. Okay. The There are certain times, certain situations and circumstances in cases where at some point it may help the case or keep it moving in the right direction for the client to speak with the insurance adjuster, maybe answer a couple of questions or what have you. But we don't, that's a little bit unusual. That can be a little bit unusual, but it has happened. But again, it just goes back to specific cases, call for specific advice and specific case plans, which is another part of the job of an attorney. You know, when we first meet our clients on the first day, we generally speaking devise a case plan at that point that helps make sure that a client receives the medical attention that they deserve under the situation and compliance and complaints for injuries and so forth, and also to develop the value of the case and to make sure that the insurance company's on constant notice of the case so that reserves can be placed aside properly for future settlement negotiations. So
at the end of the day, your main job also is handling the details of the claim.
Certainly. And I guess sometimes, you know, it's like some things you do over and over. Maybe some parts of it, from the details part, we take for granted, but you have to remember that every time a document comes across your desk from an insurance company, you got to take a moment and read that document, okay, for sure, because it may look like the standard release. It may look like the document that we have seen hundreds or really even thousands of times. You know, over the last 35 years, I've seen thousands of times, but it has to be reviewed again because, you know, just one or two sentences can change a lot of things. So it's always very important that we catch all those details for sure. Again, a lot here I could go into, but you know, medical records, you know, that's going to be a large part of the proof of the case. Mm-hmm. And so we always remind clients to, you know, be considerate to the doctors, be respectful. Remember that they are there to help. And we're blessed to have them because they obviously have a skill and an education and that they've chosen a talent. They have a talent that they have chosen to use the right way to help others. So thank God we have them. And, you know, the main thing is to be cooperative with them as best you can. It's always just like legal decisions, medical decisions very often rest with the patient. But we tell our clients you know, that the doctors give the medical advice, we give the legal advice. We will tell them very often how a medical situation or a medical decision they make may affect the legal consequences of their case. All right. And that's kind of a different thing there, but we never, ever substitute ourselves for the doctors. So any of you doctors out there listening, remember John Price said, patients listen to
Well, Mr. John Price of John Price Law Firm, we thank you again for being on Bounce Around Charleston, explaining what a personal injury lawyer is all about and how he can help you with your details.
Thank you, sir. You're too kind, Reverend. Thank you.
Okay, you've heard it right here on Bounce Around Charleston with John Price and John Price Law Firm. And we'll be right back after this break.